So, now that we know the benefits, now that we know why it's an advantage for Filipinos to become an executive virtual assistant, let's talk about now yung mga skills na dapat yung matutunan. So, it's 2024, and these are the skills that you need to learn now if you want to succeed in the role of an executive virtual assistant. Okay. First up, of course, non-negotiable na yan, inbox management. Okay? Yan ang unang-una nyo dapat matutunan because dyan talaga kailangan ng tulong ng mga executives sa inbox management. Ano bang ginagawa ng inbox management? You need to reach what we call inbox zero. Okay? If you guys are here, write it down. Recorded din naman ko. You can go back to it later on. But you have to reach inbox zero, or that's the goal of an executive virtual assistant when it comes to inbox management. So sa inbox zero, it doesn't mean na kailangan lahat na nabasa na. Okay? Ang kailangan sa inbox zero as an executive VA is marunong kang gumawa ng filters sa Gmail or sa Microsoft Outlook or gumawa ng labels. Hindi or, and gumawa ng labels. Okay? So, yun yung dalawang gagawin yun yung dalawang features that you need to learn sa Gmail and sa Microsoft Outlook. Filters and labels. Okay? And then, aayusin mo lang yun, babasahin mo lahat ng emails ng clients mo, and then lalabelan mo na siya. Kunyari, urgent, must read, read through, please reply. So, ano na siya, ilalabelan mo na siya. And then, iiwan mo lang yung mga emails that your client needs to read or to reply to na unread. Para once pumasok yung client mo sa email niya, makikita na lang niya yung unread messages, yun na lang yung babasahin niya. Okay? And then another thing for inbox management, once na maganda na yung relationship mo, let's say after 6 months with your client, okay na yung trust ninyo, by that time, you should be able to already offer yung pagda-draft ng emails. So, ikaw na yung magda-draft ng email, tapos ihihit na lang ni client mo yung send. Okay? So, those are the 3 things that you need to learn. Una, yung paano gamitin yung filters and yung labels. And then, pangatlo is i-improve mo yung drafting skills mo. Okay? So, you need to learn yung writing style ng client mo para ikaw na yung gagawa ng reply. Tapos, i-hit na lang niya yung send once na pumasok siya sa email niya. Okay, next up is calendar management. So, in calendar management, you have to understand that your client, their life revolves around their calendar. I've handled more than 20 clients already. So, yung first client ko and then the clients of the EAs that I handled, and I 100% for a fact, all of the clients, especially C-level executives, directors, business owners, their life revolves around their calendar. So if it's not in their calendar, it's not going to happen. Okay? So you need to be able to learn how to use calendar or the features of Google Calendar. So we have different calendars. We have Google Calendar and Outlook Calendar. So it really depends on what your client or what software your client is using. But the most famous one is Google Calendar. Okay. So in Google Calendar, the first thing, or in any type of calendar, the first thing that you need to learn is how to change time zones. Me personally, when I have a client, di ba, we have our computer. So if my client is based in New York, I change the time of my computer itself, not just the calendar, but the time and date of my computer itself to my client's home address or where they are based. So if my client is in New York, my time right now in my calendar is New York time. Okay? So that's something that you can also do and practice because it will help you manage their calendar better. Kasi when you do reservations, at least the calendar or the system already sees na your time zone is in New York. Okay? Now, see Google Calendar naman, you just have to make sure that you know how to change time zones. And then with Google Calendar, not all time zones are available. Like for example, I think Dubai is not there. Like if you search Dubai, you won't see it. But you have to look for ano ba yung -8 GMT ba siya, +4, -5, and then start looking na lang on the drop down where that time zone falls. Okay. You also have to make sure in Google Calendar or in calendar management that you help your client optimize. So that's your goal. That's your main goal in your client's calendar or in calendar management is to optimize your client's calendar. How will you optimize your client's calendar? You have to make sure that first things first, it's color coded properly. Okay, so your clients, when they give you their calendar, sometimes it's just one color. So the easiest way to optimize a client's calendar is to color code everything. So you can color code, for example, if it's meetings, then it's color pink. If it's personal, then it's color blue. If it's investor meeting, it's color orange. So you just have to color code everything so that your client can easily identify what they're going to do or what their calendar looks like for the week or for the month or for the day. And then another thing to help your client optimize their calendar is to batch their meetings. Okay, so instead of having meetings in different time slots, you can help your client to just have like meeting blocks. So for example, your client will only accept meetings every Monday, so from this time to this time. Instead of your client having meetings in different time slots. Okay? That's how you're gonna help him or you're gonna help your client optimize their calendar. Okay? There are still a lot of different ways for you to optimize your client, but it depends on your client's pain points. So during your onboarding or your discovery call, you have to understand yung pain points ng client mo in terms of their calendar so that you can think of how to optimize or manage it better. So, yun ang goal. Remember, inbox management, your goal is to hit inbox 0. In calendar management naman, your goal is to optimize their calendar. Okay? Another question that you can ask your client during a discovery call to help you better understand how you can help them as an executive virtual assistant is to ask them what their ideal week looks like. So when we say an ideal week, that's the time that he will say na, okay, I want more time with my kids, I want more time with my family, or I want more time with my hobbies. And then from there, you will be able to understand, okay, so if you want more time for your hobbies, this is how we're going to arrange your calendar. Ganon. So that's how you get to know your client as an executive VA. And that's the big difference between an EVA and a GVA. Okay. Perfect. Next skill that you need to learn is travel management as an executive virtual assistant. Because travel management, a lot of clients travel for business, for pleasure. Okay? And you have to also understand in the US, it's really big. Dito sa Philippines, we only have one time zone all across our regions from Luzon, Visayas to Mindanao. We are just living in one time zone. With the US, the mainland, yung USA nila, kung nasan yung bulk of their states, it crosses 4 time zones. So you have, yesterday I had the talk, nakalimutan ko yung isang time zone. So you have Eastern, Mountain, Pacific, nakalimutan ko na naman yung isa. Oh, go! Hanap, sino magko-comment. We have Central, there you go. Oh, di ba? Ang galing. So, yon. So, those are the 4 time zone. It crosses 4 time zones. So, they usually travel from one city, from one time zone to the next time zone. From, let's say, from California to the other end of the US, which is New York. So, they usually travel most of the time. When I was working for my client as an EVA noon, my client travels from LA to San Francisco, parang nag-bus lang. Parang he'll come in the morning and then he'll come back to Los Angeles ng gabi. Kasi may meeting lang siya sa San Francisco for a few hours. So dito sa atin sa Philippines, traveling for us usually is really a luxury. Sa US, especially for the executives that we handle, traveling for them ng flights, yung airline, is just like them traveling in a bus. So, ganun ka normal sa kanila yung pagta-travel ng using the plane. So, we have to make sure na we know how to book flights, we know where to find cheap flights, we know we should have access to our clients what's this yung mga membership, airline membership, so that we can get points and then we can convert those points to flights. Okay? So, dito, if you want to learn, if hindi ka pa marunong ng travel management, just try booking dito sa Philippines kasi pwede ka naman mag-book and then ka-cancel mo na lang nang hindi ka pa nagbabayad, parang ganun. So that you just have a feel. Ang advice ko lang when it comes to travel management, you can use search engines like Google Flights and Skyscanner. Ako, favorite ko is Skyscanner. To look for the different airlines na available yung flight na hinahanap ng client mo. But when you book the actual flight already, don't use that search engine or the Skyscanner or Google Flights to book the flight. Always book the flight dun mismo sa website ng airline. Okay? Because pag nagkaroon ng time na kailangan mag-rebook, mahirap mag-rebook or mag-request ng refund if you're using search engines to book the flight. Okay? So yeah. Now, before, ang bagong tip ko naman dito when it comes to travel management, if you're going to create an itinerary, let's say your client wants to travel to Europe for a month. Okay? Before, I was using a tool called Inspirock. Okay? And then naging Klarna siya. It was included in my online course. And then both of them disappeared. Kasi nawala si Inspirock, nawala si Klarna. And it was a very, very helpful tool because it creates an itinerary for you already with calendars, with maps, with everything. So now nawala na yon, and I was really sad na nawala na siya. But we now have AI tools that will help us create itineraries. So you can use Gemini or ChatGPT. So we have Google Gemini, really, really good and really updated. So I highly suggest if you're going to create an itinerary for your client's travel, you use Gemini to help you create. Kasi si Google Gemini, updated siya ng real time because it's powered by Google. Si ChatGPT, okay din siya, pero kasi medyo late si ChatGPT. I'm not sure if 2022 or 2023 yung update ni ChatGPT in terms of kung ano yung alam niya. But for travel, Google Gemini is the best for you to, for Google Gemini to help create an itinerary. Ganun. So, uutusan mo lang si Gemini. Yes, free si Google Gemini. May free version siya and then may paid version siya. Later, I'll talk about yung mga different features niya once we go to the tools. Okay? So, ganon. Just go to Google Gemini to help you create yung itinerary. Does Gemini included in the online course? I'm currently recording what's this, yung tutorials for Google Gemini. So yes, magiging updated yan siguro mga in 2 weeks time. Naka-leave ako for 2 weeks next week. The first 2 weeks ng September, naka-leave ako and I'll focus on updating all of the courses and the modules. So mga mid-September, I will announce na updated na siya. Okay. Perfect. Ano pa ba sa travel management? Ayun lang naman. Yun yung mga importante na kailangan ninyong malaman. And then you can also use, or when you are creating an itinerary for your client, I highly suggest to either use Google Sheets, yun yung pinakamadali at saka libre, or you can also use Notion, and you can also use ClickUp. Later during the tools, I'll show you the different tools that you can use in terms of project management or providing templates. Ang may magandang template also na libre si Brian. Di ba mahilig si Brian? Magaling kasi si Brian when it comes to Google Sheets. Kasi marunong siya mag-coding. So if you want yung talagang maganda na what's this? Na templates, you can head over to Brian's account, and then sobrang dami niyang magagandang ano. Pag ako nag-help, pag kailangan ko ng Google Sheets or anything that has to do with Google Drive, kay Brian lang ako nagpupunta. Sabi ko, Brian, pakiayos naman ito, paki-automate. Magaling kasi si Brian sa coding. So you can get his templates. But we also have free basic templates that I created na nandun sa course. But if you want yung talagang maganda and arranged, Brian has amazing templates. Okay, next skill that you need to learn naman is event management. Ngayon tatanong nyo, paano ako mag-event management kung nandito ako sa Philippines, 'di ba? So, what you can do or what we focus on event management is looking for suppliers or vendors. Now, sa US, dito tayo, 'di ba, ang tawag natin sa mga suppliers or suppliers, event suppliers, yung mga ganyan. Anong page ni Brian? Search nyo na lang siya sa TikTok or sa Facebook, Brian. Tracy, if you can comment the link, go. But yeah, he has amazing templates. He was also an executive assistant. We used to work together in the same agency. Anong tawag dito? So, sa event management naman, ang ang gagawin lang talaga natin is to look for vendors. Now, sa US, ang tawag nila sa suppliers are vendors. Okay, dito kasi sa atin, di ba, more on suppliers, event suppliers. Sa US, it's more on event vendors, yung mga ganyan, or service providers. Okay? So, sa event, yun lang ang gagawin nyo. Maghanap kayo ng vendors. Dapat alam nyo kung saan maghahanap ng vendors or ng suppliers. And then, kayo din yung gagawa ng program. Yun yung gagawin nyo. Yung timeline, yung project itself. And then, during the execution naman, you just have to make sure that you are available all throughout the day. During the day itself, kasi you can call naman the people, you can call your vendors and all of those things. Pero syempre, sila naman na yung mag-execute. Sample scenario is just a few weeks back. Yun yung huling project ko with my client. I helped sa isang product launch nila. So, ako yung nag-book ng tent, nag-book ng rentals, ako yung bumili ng lahat ng supplies, nag-book ng caterer, basta lahat na naghanap ng suppliers. Okay? That's why on the day itself, I just made sure na yung supplier nandiyan na ba, sige ganito, na-deliver na ba, and blah, blah, blah. And then, meron lang akong kausap na point person ni client, and then siya lang yung nagpapadala sa akin ng mga pictures, and nagko-confirm na, yes, nandito na, eto na yung setup, yung mga ganyan-ganyan. So, you just need to be able to have someone, a partner mo, na nandun during the day for the event. Simple lang naman siya event and very rare lang din naman siya ginagawa. But if you are an executive virtual assistant, you have to know how to do this kasi you might plan your client's birthday, yung birthday ng anak ng client mo, wedding nila, engagement, anniversary. So there are a lot of different events that your client would ask you to help with. So you just have to make sure na alam mo kung saan maghahanap ng suppliers. Okay. Yun ang question ngayon. Saan maghahanap ng suppliers? There are just 2 websites na ginagamit ko para maghanap ng suppliers or vendors. First is Yelp, Y-E-L-P. Lahat ng businesses sa US, nasa Yelp. Second one is Google Maps. Okay? So, lahat din ng businesses na nasa US is nasa Google Maps. Maybe some wala. But for sure yan, Yelp and Google Maps are the 2 best places that you can look for suppliers. Okay? Ganun lang siya sa event. You can, doon sa online course, we have a program checklist already, templates na downloadable. Pero later on, I'll show you the different tools that you can use na meron ng mga templates for project or event management. Perfect. Next skill that you need to learn. Diba? Ang dami natin kailangan matutunan as executive virtual assistants because we are a jack and jill of all trades. Talagang we do almost everything for our client. Okay? So next is household management. Ano ba yung household management? If dito sa Pilipinas, marunong ka magbayad ng bills mo through GCash, through credit card, or magbabayad ka sa 7-Eleven or sa Palawan, ganun na rin yon. Okay? Yung household management is just like that. If marunong ka bumili ng pagkain sa Grab, sa Foodpanda, if marunong ka bumili ng regalo through Shopee or sa Lazada, okay din yon. Alam mo na kung paano siya gawin or paano gawin ang household management. Kasi sa household management, ang gagawin mo lang is, tutulungan mo yung client mo to pay their bills, to pay their credit card bills, yung electric, yung water, or whatever. And then, next is maghahanap ka ng service providers. Maghahanap ka ng pool guy, ng plumber, ng electrician, yan, kung kailangan nila. Then, maghahanap ka lang din nun. Sa service providers, ang ginagamit lang din natin is same as nung sa event, which is Yelp and Google Maps. Yan. Another thing that we do for household management is we do grocery shopping for our clients. Okay? So, kailangan marunong ka kung paano bumili ng grocery. So, sa US, ang ginagamit kadalasan natin for grocery is either Instacart or Amazon Fresh. Yan. Especially, ito lang sasabihin ko sa inyo, if yung client niyo is a C-level executive, mayaman siya, high class, and whatever, they're very health conscious. So, kadalasan sa kanila, di kailangan gluten-free, kailangan free-range na chicken. So, you can look for it in Instacart or in Amazon Fresh. Okay? So, yun yung dalawang sites na Ay, nagbabaloon siya. Hello! So, yun yung dalawang sites na ginagamit to look for groceries. And then, I think we also have Costco. Costco is another place. So, Costco is parang SNR natin. Ganon. So, meron din silang online shop si Costco. Tapos, bibilin mo lang or i-check out mo lang through Instacart. Yan. Sa mga pagkain naman, they have DoorDash and Uber Eats. Sulat nyo yung mga tools na yon or mga websites na yon. Kasi kailangan alam nyo yon kasi once na you have a client, dapat para mapabilib nyo sila, hindi na dapat na sasabihin sa'yo, alam mo ba kung saan dapat mag-grocery? Kasi isipin lang, Pilipino to. Hindi niya siguro alam kung ano ang Amazon. Hindi niya siguro alam kung ano ang Instacart. Okay. So, dapat papabibo na kayo. Sabihin niyo, I know how to do grocery shopping. Do you use Costco? Do you shop in Amazon? Do you shop in Instacart or whatever? If takeout naman, I know you use DoorDash or Uber Eats. Kadalasan kasi ganyan yung sa mga nakaka-work ko na clients. Minsan isipin nila, tatanong nila sa akin, do you know what DoorDash is? Do you know what Uber Eats is? Do you know what Amazon is? So dapat yun, alam na, umpisa pa lang dapat parang pinaparamdaman nyo na sa kanila na alam ninyo kung ano yung mga websites, kung saan bibilin yung whatever. Okay? Yan. So yun yung household management. Okay? Para talagang anything that has to do with the household, shopping. Oh, one more thing, yung mga magbubook ka ng nannies or tutors or chef, personal chef, yan din are all of the other things na binubook din natin for our clients. Sige, after the skills, I'll answer some questions before we proceed dun sa tools. Lahat naman ng questions is naka-screenshot dito. I'll go to them later on. Next up, ito na ba yung last? Hold on, let me see. Last two skills before we proceed to tools. So the next skill that you need to learn as an executive virtual assistant is meeting management. That's because yung mga client natin, marami silang magiging ka-meeting, so you need to be able to learn kung paano mag-book ng meeting, paano magbigay ng meeting links sa gusto nilang ka-meeting. Okay? So meeting goes hand in hand with calendar management. Okay? So you need to learn how to look at your client's calendar, to learn kailan yung availability nila. And then you also have to always be aware, is the meeting in person or virtual? If it's virtual, where is the person your client is meeting with? Is the person in the same state? Or is he in a different country? Is it going to be a different time zone? So you have to be sensitive sa time ng mga ka-meeting nila, especially if it's virtual. Okay? You need to be able to email these people in a professional way. To tell them, these are the time slots na available yung client ko. Does this work for you? We can make adjustments, etc., etc. Another thing for meeting is, of course, if your client requires you to join the meeting, it means that you're going to write the minutes of the meeting or the summary. Later during the tools, I will talk about the tools that you can use to make meeting management super easy for you. As in, it's going to be a walk in the park because of the new tools that we discovered for the past few years. And that's the reason why we're doing this webinar, because there are new tools that you need to learn to help you work smart as an executive virtual assistant. O may nagsabi na use Calendly. May mas maganda sa Calendly. I will show you later on. Calendly is going to be a good buy for me because of the new tool that I will show you later on. Next, last but definitely not the least, ito medyo advanced na to. This is project management. So, sa project management is, what's this? Is when your client needs you to create, let's say, a really big project. Let's say may project siya na kailangan niyang, if it's a real estate client, magbibuild, or construction client, magbibuild kayo ng house, mag-start kayo ng bagong system, may product launch kayo. So it's a big project. So you need to learn how to do project management. Especially ako na magiging operations or focusing on operations management na virtual, I actually enrolled in Google's project management course para ma-upskill ko yung sarili ko. Kasi okay na ako dun sa mga inbox, calendar, travel, but when it comes to project management, it's something na medyo weakness ko pa ngayon kasi hindi ko pa hindi ko pa alam yung mga details about project management. Kung paano ba talaga, ano yung mga terms, ano yung journey ng project, yung mga ganyan. So I'm currently taking a course, yung Google Project Management course. It's a certificate course, so binayaran ko siya sa Google. Ang tawag dito. And it's something that we need to learn. Of course, there are free video tutorials that you can find on YouTube, Udemy, Coursera. You can enroll in those courses na free. Pero ako kasi talagang I wanted to focus on this, so nagbayad talaga ako ng course. But you can take project management and then you can integrate that to using tools, project management tools such as Notion and ClickUp. Ang favorite na mga companies ngayon and na mga client ngayon is ClickUp compared to Notion. Kasi yung ClickUp, more advanced siya at saka may automation siya, tas madali din siyang matutunan. Lumilipat na kadalasan ngayon from Asana to ClickUp because of yung automations na provided ni ClickUp, and mas affordable si ClickUp compared to other project management tools. Okay? So this is one thing that you need to upskill on if you want to be a successful executive virtual assistant. It's project management. Hindi ko pa siya ma-discuss ngayon ng maayos kasi I'm still currently taking the course, but I already included it here in the webinar para at least mauna na rin kayo sa research ninyo. Hindi kayo mahuhuli. And this will actually set you apart from other executive virtual assistants kapag meron kayong skill in project management. Okay? Okay, perfect. So those are all of the tools. Now, all of the skills. So before we proceed kay tools, let me answer some questions. Hold on. Okay, one moment. So, first question, possible pa rin po ba makakuha ng client ang mga newbie as an EVA? Very competitive na kasi talaga ngayon online. So my answer for this is actually not just for an EVA, but for all people na magta-transition from corporate or mag-graduate pa lang sa school or undergrad, wala pang work experience. So yes, very competitive ang market ngayon or ang industry ng virtual assistant as well as an executive virtual assistant. Now, kailangan mo lang mag-stand out. That's why yung trend ngayon in 2024 going to 2025 is hindi na enough na executive virtual assistant ka lang. You need to be able to say, you need to have, ano yung term na yun? You need to have hyper-specialization. Okay? So, kunyari ako, dati, pag sinabi ko, executive virtual assistant ako, yun lang ako. Kasi yung iba general VA. Pero ang dami na ding EVAs ngayon. So ang ginawa ko, nag-hyper-specialize ako and I focus on ClickUp. So, ang advantage ko ngayon is, I'm an executive virtual assistant na meron akong specialty when it comes to ClickUp, so I can create CRMs via ClickUp and automation. And then currently, I'm also studying ChatGPT, yung paid version ni ChatGPT, because I learned this from my very good friend Edina. She's also a content creator here on TikTok, and sobrang galing niya when it comes to AI, especially ChatGPT. So, kino-combine ko ngayon yung knowledge ko with ClickUp and then improving myself in AI tools para meron akong that will set me apart from other executive virtual assistants. So, kailangan mong magkaroon or kailangan mo ngayon in this market na meron kang specialization as an executive VA. So, once you're learn the basics, yung mga tinuro ko ngayon, and then look for something that you feel like you can specialize on. Ganyan. You can also look for a specific industry na ita-target mo. Okay? So, kung meron ka, katulad ko, ang background ko is wedding and events planning. So, instead na maghanap ako sa kung sino-sino na lang client, ita-target ko yung mga wedding and events suppliers or vendors. Tapos, dun ko ibebenta yung specialty ko as an executive VA specializing in ClickUp and AI tools as well as focusing on wedding and event suppliers or clients. So, ganun siya. Next, I'm working in BPO for 14 years. Do you think I fit I fit for this job, and what is the thing I need to adjust? Yes, if ang tagal mo na sa BPO, then you can focus on customer service. Alam mo ba't pa ako nakaganito? Wala naman ako naririnig. You can focus on customer service. You can you can focus on customer service, and then depende kung ano yung anong tawag doon? Accounts na meron ka, you can also offer that. Nasabihin mo, meron ako experience, let's say, sa telecommunications. So, look for clients within the telecommunication industry. Yan. What are the common skills? Yan, pinag-usapan na natin. Ano po kaya, ma'am, mas qualified ako 6 years sa inbound? O sige, mamaya natin. How can I be an executive VA from being a general VA? So, magandang question yan. What will set you apart from being a general VA to an executive virtual assistant is yung ikaw na yung mag-help sa client sa pagiging, ang tawag dito? Ikaw yung tutulong sa kanila so they can focus on more important things.